بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل Muhammad. In the previous lecture we spoke about the devil. Who is the devil exactly and why he exists? Now the form of devils, specifically now at this time, before the reappearance of Imam Mahdi, is taking different faces or different phases at the same time. There's many rumors, always rumors about the fake Messiah. Where is he exactly? How is he going to be? And recently, some of our ulama too, the Muslims ulama in general, they're denying the fact of Imam Mahdi's existence. They say how a person can he live all this time? Or not just that, why he wanna come back? Why there's someone is coming back? Is it just a dream? This is what they keep saying. And then from the Quran they say even the real Jesus, the real Isa, why he's going to be back too? He died, why he's coming back? Even they take from ayat from the Quran al-Karim and they interpret it in the way they want. And we see there's a lot of fitans, there's a lot of problems they're making about all this ayat. And we are really confused. The more we advance, the more we open Facebooks, Google, even the news, we become more confused. At the end, we'll start saying, oh really, why, yeah, that's true, why Imam Mahdi, there's someone called Imam Mahdi exists. Is it just a dream for the Shia? Nobody believe in Imam Mahdi, us, even our Shia, our beloved Shia brothers. One of the ulama said, it's alright to not believe in Imam Mahdi. It's alright. Maybe he will come back later, he will show you, but it's alright to not believe in him. So the face of the devil is taking many dimensions, not just one. Why? Because the more we know, the more we are responsible. Let me give an example. For example, 300 years ago, if someone wrote a book, like a scientific book, he will be so content, so happy. Like for example, Newton, he gave the theory of gravity. He was happy with it. He wrote few different books, like 2 or 3 books, and it was the ultimate knowledge. He was the most smartest man. Now, we have people who dream to write 1,000 books, but there's no quality in them. Why? Because science is advancing very fast. If I write something, it always happened with me, like maybe I keep it 1 year, later I look at it, I'll say, oh, how weak was that? I didn't know so on, so I could add here, I could add so. Why? Because always we have to be advancing. The devil, he has all this knowledge we have, but he's more advanced than us. Many people think the devil is just a person standing next to me and whispering all the time. No. I mentioned before, he has a university. The person who's always next to you, the Qareen, he's not a devil. He's just a form of a reporter. He always report us to the main devil. Let's say they have a big company. They have, let's say, tablets, and they always keep watching me, saying, okay, now I'm praying. He pushed the button saying, this guy is praying now, please send me help. And then from the main university they will send 2 or 3 from these devils. They're specialized about making me not focus on my prayers. Let's say one thing. Let's say I'm walking now and I saw a poor guy. This Qareen, he will know that I want to give money now, so he will send help message to the main university over there, and then they will send devils to make me stop paying the money. Why? Because it's a sadaqah, and sadaqah is good for Allah Azza wa Jal content. So the devil, he does not want Allah Azza wa Jal to be content with us. Same thing, let's say listening to music, disobeying our parents, right? Many of, now if you open the movies or you open, let's say, mainly Disney Channel, they always make someone focus in the love story. She's 10 years, 11 years old, and he's now focusing all his dreams about what kind of girlfriend I should be having. Why? Because they want to take the main focus from our brains to something it's not important for you now. Why? Because they don't want you to think about the future. The future is for them, but you are just a follower. They make you songs, love songs and painful songs, and someone go commit suicide, and I want to be free, I want to fly alone and stuff like that, right? Why? Because flying alone is good. They never tell you, for example, flying with your people is be better, or obeying your parents because they have more experience than what we have. Yes.
What's the point of like them creating like songs?
Okay. This is a form of the devilish things. Let me tell you how. Masa, for example, if someone always the songs amplify your emotions. Let's say if they wanna advertise for water, why they put songs with it? If water is something essential for you, you need to drink it. But why they convince you with it? They have to sell you the fake stuff, not the real stuff. Why? Because when, for example, they start singing, even let's say the halal singing, the anashid. If you are in pain, and this is a fact, if you are in pain, you listen to anything, it will block your pain. But it's a temporary blockage. It's not doing you anything. Why? Because later you wanna face it back, right? If you don't face it, one day you will start thinking about suicide. This is where we'll take you. Every single year, there's 47,000 young teen under 18 American, they commit suicide. Every single year over here. And this is one of the most dangerous things happening to us now. We care so much about the outside, the Middle East. We send many troops over there, and because why? Because some terrorists are killing 2 or 3 American every year. But we leave the main terror that's going on in this country, killing 47,000 teen every single year. Why? From the songs, from the suicide, because most of the songs are for love. And if you don't really fall in love, then this means something wrong with you, right? Why? Because it's always challenging to fall in love. And this guy, he doesn't care about you anymore. And this guy, he's feeling that he's gay. And this guy, she's feeling that she like a woman. They always want to embed this inside you. And this is wrong. It's always challenge people. For example, recently in Middle East, they start making shows about kids singing. How much is pressuring that? This is very hard for a kid. For someone, he's 8 or 9 years old, he care about having the best voice ever in the Middle East, or singing in front of 1,000 people. This is very, very hard. Yeah, very pressuring, because basically you're destroying this kid. Even if he win, after 1 year, no one will hear about him anymore. He was nobody. You made him someone. After 1 year, he's nobody again, and that's destroying. So the faces of the devil, let's focus more on the devil, is using all these items, and one of those items are the science. And there's a big experiment happening between France and Switzerland. Between those two countries, they made a big experiment. Was funded by many countries. They call it the hadron collider, Cern. If you ever heard about it, it's now becoming more famous. They made few movies of it's how bad is it, because if something happened, devils will come through that Cern, that the hadron collider, and they made people scared of that. And obviously, like usual, many ulama from our side, from the Shia side and the Sunni side, they keep saying this is the science of the devil. Cern is the sign of the devil. Why? Because you're bringing 2 hydrogen and you collide them together, and the scientists, they want to create different life. Yeah, they have a bad intention with it. But their intention is what? Is to see how we were created. If they have something inside them saying we want to make different creation, this is something else. But this will never happen. Allah Azza wa Jal will never grant spirits to no one. Let me give you an example. For example, the DNA cloning. Have you ever heard about cloning? Cloning, yani bringing, not George Clooney, okay? Cloning, okay. Cloning is bringing someone, the DNA from someone, and then put it in different egg. You take away all the DNA, you wipe it out from the egg, and you start raising it. It will become a kid. I mean, like a small kid, and then big one. They apply this to all the animals. It succeeded. In 1998, it was the first one. I think her name was Dolly. She was a sheep. We heard about it. We were very happy about it. But later, they start making this experiment on a human being. Did they succeed? No, they will never succeed in bringing someone to life. Why? Because he will always reach the 6th stage and then he die immediately. Why? Because the science, our science of Ahl Bayt, saying the first 3 months is where is the body start forming. The second 3 months is where the nafs start forming, is the last 3 months is where the ruh will open up. Will open up to he will be connected with the spiritual world. The kid. So he will reach the 6 months, the 2 stages, the body and the nafs, and then he will die. Now we will say, okay, the nafs is bad. That's why it's haram to kill it. Haram to kill the nafs. But this nafs, it's not related to any spirit. This is it's like a software exists inside a phone. When you go buy a new phone, they will tell you it's an Android 5.6. Now it's Android 5.7. So basically this is it. This is the nafs. Nafs is just a software without the ruh, without the spirit. So they will never reach this stage. Okay, go back to Cern. So Cern over here, they keep saying, now I'm watching a lot of videos about saying, the Masonics are making the Cerns, they want to kill us all. But I want to ask a question. If they want to kill us all, they will die too, right? So why they want to kill us all? If we all die, so those Masonics, who's going to control? Does it make sense? Does it make sense to you? They always keep blaming those Masonics. I always hear it. But I'll never see them. Who exactly they are? Where they are? They control everything. They have a lot of money. But why they are? Let's say they control everyone. But why they allowed Iran to become Iran? مثلا? They put a lot of sanction on it, right? As a big country. But why they did not succeed? Because someone has the faith inside them. This is the devil. إن كيد الشيطان كان ضعيفا. Is weak. It's not heavy. It's not big. Why we always keep blaming those people? And those people, they might be planning bad. We are helping them too. Well, let's say when I come to your kid, I will keep saying, the devil is a bad person. He will come at night and he will kill you. The devil is, one day he wanna take you away or something. I keep making all those lies so you'll be scared. What's gonna happen at the end? You'll really be scared. Of who? Of nobody. It's empty. It's hologram. When we keep talking about the Masonics as a big power, they don't really have a big power. We are making them big. It's one of the way of the devil to always be scared. Let's say now, for example, we live in this country. If we talk about anything, we look behind our backs. Who's watching us? Who's gonna come from behind us? And we don't really use any from our rights. Why? We're all scared. From who? From our just ideas in our head. For sure. Let's say now someone can go to Detroit and give $100 for someone to kill someone else, right? It's not that big deal. But they cannot control the world. They can kill a person, 2 person, 3 person, but they cannot just go to Middle East and wipe 100 million or 200 million person. They cannot do that. Nobody can do that. So Cern mainly, if we use it for our interest, Cern actually is Islamic. Mainly why? Because it proves all the theory of Allah Azza wa Jal from the Quran inside a laboratory, a big laboratory. Why? Because when Allah Azza wa Jal spoke in Surah Al-Rahman, if you read Surah Al-Rahman, all of it is speaking about a big malakuti things, a huge things. With what we keep missing it. We keep blaming the jinn and ins, the jinn, yani the spirit's world next to us and us, for something Allah Azza wa Jal speak in Surah Al-Rahman. But if you look at Surah Al-Rahman from the beginning to the end, it's talking about the creation, the main creation. When I tell you about, for example, how Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam born, what happened exactly there? Ar-Rahman علم القرآن خلق الإنسان. Who is Ar-Rahman? Don't be so fast. Yes. Who is Ar-Rahman? Who can tell me? هو الرحمن. بس هل هو الرحمن? Because when we have a saying from Imam al-Baqir, I told you about it before, saying if you believe Allah Azza wa Jal is the word Allah, you are mushrik. If you see always the ayat al-Quraniyah saying Allah, Bismillah, we respect this word because it's representing the Creator. But if we think this word is Allah, this word is very like Allah, it's kufr, ishraq. It's not real. Because this word is a creation of Allah. This is how we know Him.
You mean Allah to be the ethnic?
Yeah, Allah, the word. You see over there, it's written over there. Yeah. So Allah Azza wa Jal, the creator. Yes. If you think the word itself is Allah, is ishraq. Yani many people put so much effort in this word to protect it. We should be doing that. But if you put so much effort that thinking this is Allah, it's ishraq. Yani it's not. This is not Allah. This is a creation of Allah. Nah, yeah. This is how we know Him. This is. Yeah. This is wording. This is a communication between us and Allah. Yes.
عندي سؤال.
Yes.
مش إنه يعني شيء مثلا أمراض الإنسان بيقعد وبيصير يفكر وين الله. مثلا مش إنه لصار الله شيء كلنا يمكن كلنا بنمر بهالحالة هاي.
نعم.
مثلا واحد بيقول طيب أنا خلقت وهاي دخل وكذا وبعدين بصير يفكر يعني شو رأيك أنت أو شو جوابك لهيك للواحد؟
نعم يعني
الواحد بيضل يفكر هيك يعني مثل ما قلت عم تحكي عن الله والرحمن.
طيب one more I can answer you very easy. I'm gonna speak in English, sorry, so they can understand. He asked very important question. Where is Allah? I wanna ask back. No, you can ask anything. Islam granted. Yes, no, I made 5 lectures about this before. Yeah. Sure. He asked a very important question. He said, where is Allah? The destination. Where can we find it? Well, let me tell you something. Allah Azza wa Jal created something inside us represent Him. Who knows what is it? Heart is the like a masjid. But what's inside the heart working always? Is love. Love is working inside the heart. Let's say, masalan, I see someone I fell in love with, okay? You're like my doctor, you know? You're like my psychiatrist. She doesn't talk to me, she doesn't like me, you know? I go to the psychiatrist so he can treat me so I can go away from her, okay? Let's make this scenario. When I go to the doctor, I'll say, you know, I love her so much. Take this love away from me. That what basically the doctor can make so he can take the love from. Where can he find love inside me to take it away? Can he take it away from me? No, he cannot. What's the definition of love? Where does he exist? Does love exist inside the heart? Does love exist inside the brain? Inside the body? What is it exactly? Everywhere. Allah Azza wa Jal is love in a form of what? In a form of He exists around everything at the same time. He does not blend with it. Many people, they miss the conception saying everything is Allah. No, this is wrong. Everything is a creation of Allah. Yeah, He knows everything about His creation. He is the most wise. He's so Rahman Rahim. But He is the most powerful. Okay, how can we measure this power? Can we measure power? Can I come to you and say, give me 2 pounds of power? Or can I come to you saying, give me 5 pounds of love? No, we cannot. This one, and we cannot measure it. You see, Allah Azza wa Jal, when He spoke about Rahmah, can we measure the Rahmah? No. Rahmatullah, we cannot measure it. But He created something we can measure it with. Who is this Rahmah is Rasulullah, is Muhammad. That's why He always focuses on Ahlul Bayt. Because why? Because Ahlul Bayt is the only filter that He knows who is good, who is bad. You can think about any filter in life, nothing will succeed except this filter. When He said Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, He said Bismillah. Let's say the most important ayah in the Quran or surah in the Quran, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We read it 5 times a day. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. We are thanking Allah. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And He is the most merciful, Rahim. Malik Yawmiddin, the owner of the day of judgment. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. Yani, please help us worship you. Where is He exactly? What's the definition? Did you know what is He? No. Why? Because nobody will be able to know. If you open all the Quran, He will never speak about Himself, because He does not have a self like us. Anything He speaks about Himself, He will be limited to it. Let me give you something. If you ask anybody here, he'll say, you know, which one bigger? You, your eye, or the universe? Who knows? Which one bigger? Don't say anything. Who is one bigger? Okay, why is it bigger than the universe, the whole universe? Why? Because when you, for example, at night you look at the universe, you'll be able to see it all.
My eye observe all the scene.
I'm saying from the physical point of view, physics, from the physics point of view. The eye is, from your point of view, where you stand is bigger than the universe. Why? Because the universe, all of it is inside your eyes when you see it. So let's say Allah is so big. So when He's far, we'll be able to see Him all small. So does Allah Azza wa Jal is a small? Is He small? So He's not dividable. If we divide God, then He's not God anymore. How is someone so great, create everything, He can be dividable? You can, for example, travel 1 billion years away and you see Him very small. That will never happen. That's why He doesn't have a space in this form. He said, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Ahad means singular. But is He singular? No, He's not. What does it mean singular? Singular, it does not have a different face. Let me tell you, singularity in physics. If you look at my hand, you have to know there is no behind for it. This means singular. But is He singular? No, He's not. What's singular then? Rasulullah is singular. Why? Because from Ahad, He created Ahmad. You see, look how close is that. Ahad, Ahmad. He just put meme at the end. This is different science. So this is Allah. We continue with the main idea. So Cern is something to prove the existence of Allah. And Cern as an experiment exists in Surah Ar-Rahman. If you read it, all of it, Surah Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahman, علم القرآن. Who علم القرآن? Rasulullah علم القرآن. We have a misconception. I made this lecture before. That's thinking Jibreel alayhi salam, he's the one who taught the Quran to Rasulullah. مش to say the hadith, مش the ayat al-Quraniyya say اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. Who said اقرأ to who? All the stories, all the ulama, they say Jibreel came in alayhi salam and he said to Muhammad, Rasulullah, اقرأ, read. In reality, no, it's not true. It's not true. Yeah, because why? Because the angels, if we know who they are, the angels feed on the ayat al-Quraniyya, tasbih. When we say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, it's very easy for us to say it, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, but we don't really understand what is it. For the angel to say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, he has to be in the highest level of knowledge. And when he say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, he stay 1 million years without eating. It's so heavy, it's a lot of power in it. So if Jibreel alayhi salam, Gabriel, he wanna reveal all the Quran to Rasulullah, he will disappear. It's so much energy. So what happened is Jibreel alayhi salam came to Rasulullah as was he expecting him to come. He know that he's a prophet. Why? Because he know everything. Don't believe all the stories. This is all Israelis stories inside our religion, was put in our religion. So when Gabriel came to Rasulullah, he was happy to see him, saying, and now Gabriel start speaking. He's gonna say Bismillah ar-Rahman. It's very heavy. So Rasulullah told Gabriel, read, Gabriel. And he's like, he wanna say it and he couldn't. Then he asked him again, read, Jibreel. And
You mean Rasul?
Rasul asking Jibreel alayhi salam. Yeah.
سورة الرحمن، كلمة الرحمن بس الرسول معني الرسول.
الرحمن هو محمد.
أما الرحمن في بمعاني أخرى هي الله سبحانه.
بالمطلق محمد موجود بكل القرآن. I'll show you. You can bring me any ayah and I'll show you where. Okay. When he said the third one, اقرأ.
الرحمن الرحيم.
لا الرحمن محمد الرحيم علي. سبقت علينا. وما أرسلناك إلا رحمة للعالمين. يعني أرسلناك رحمة للعالمين. وأنه بالمؤمنين رؤوف رحيم. يعني مؤمنين only خص someone else للمؤمنين. for عالمين خص مين؟ محمد. أسماء الله الحسنى بس. الله عز وجل لا يحد. He does not come to an edge. يعني you cannot put an edge and say this is Allah. If you say Ar-Rahman Allah, that's it, then why he has a different 100 name? And then if you say only 100 name is for Allah, if you open Dua al-Jawshan al-Kabir, it has 1000 name. You see, the more you want to limit Allah to one word, He will say, no, I'm not that, I'm this, 1000 word. And then if you want to limit those ones Allah Azza wa Jal in the Quran said, if He does not have a limit for His name, all the ocean will be ended writing the names of Allah, and they will never end. Why? Because those names are description. This is how we know Him, but He's never limited to those names. Except one name. What is it? One name He is limited to it. No, Ar-Rahman. وَكَتَبَ عَلَى نَفْسِهِ الرَّحْمَةِ. He wrote up in Himself the Rahmah. Why he said this? Because He said the only way you come to me is through Rahmah, which is Muhammad. That's why I always focus in all my lectures about Rasulullah. Because this is the only way we go to Allah. We are 8 billion person on earth. We live on earth. There's 8 billion way to Allah. But there's one way to know Him, is through Muhammad. This is very simple. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So one of the devil's face is bringing, for example, the idea of Cern to present the devil. In reality, it's not. It never presented the devil. It is actually presenting the science of Islam. I am repeating that. Please, when you go home, read Surah Ar-Rahman from the very beginning to the very end. If you read it all the meanings of Surah Ar-Rahman explaining the foundation of the universe. When I spoke before about the sacred geometry is inside Surah Ar-Rahman. Why? Because when He said Ar-Rahman, Allama al-Quran, what's after that? This is where many people, they're gonna be confused. So you will say Muhammad, Rasulullah, he's the one who created everything? Well, yes, because Allah Azza wa Jal gave him that.
He asked Jibreel to say Iqra, not Jibreel Sa'al.
Yeah, Rasulullah, he ordered Jibreel to Iqra. And the third, let me continue the story, I didn't finish it. And the third time, when he told him Iqra, what happened? He was gonna say it, and Rasulullah over here, he held him. And he put his heart next to his body, because he is fu'ad, his heart, not like us. He has a fu'ad. What does it mean, fu'ad? وَمَا كَذَبَ الْفُؤَادُ وَمَا رَأَى. We have hearts, but when you go to the ultimate truth, your heart will start spreading the energy, not taking the energy. When you have a heart, the heart will take the energy. But when you have a fu'ad will spread the energy. We call it from, Allah Azza wa Jal created the fu'ad from something called al-fayd. Faydullah, we say fayd, nur. It's coming from your heart outside. This is the fu'ad. So when Allah Azza wa Jal speak about Rasulullah in this form, He is speaking that his heart is given to Jibreel. And then Jibreel saying the Quran. It's completely different than the narration that said Jibreel ordered Rasulullah to say the Quran, and after that he didn't know. So he was shaking, he went to his wife shaking, and he's saying, I saw someone weird today and he ordered me to read something, I don't know what is it. That's not true at all. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم هو الشيء بنقصنا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر. Before Jibreel comes to Rasulullah, Allah Azza wa Jal said إنا أنزلناه, all the Quran في ليلة القدر, to the heart of the Prophet. You see? Because he want to teach you there's a wasila. What, يعني, مثلا, for example, someone now he comes to you and say, you know what, I'm connected to Allah. I just go outside say, oh Allah, give me something. Immediately Allah will yastajib. Through what happened with Rasulullah Muhammad and Jibreel, he is teaching us that if you want to send a message, it has to be through someone. You see? There's a wasila. يعني why? When we say Allahumma bihaqqi Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, a'tini kaza wa kaza. This is the wasila. يعني Allah Azza wa Jal, why He used Jibreel? He could just send him the Quran directly. Right? He could, wala la, he couldn't. He could send him the Quran directly. But why He did not send him the Quran directly? Yani as a public. In reality He did. He said, Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr. This is between him and Allah. This is the special relationship between Muhammad and Rasul, Ahmad and Allah. This is the special relationship. But why He kept sending Jibreel alayhi salam? Why? Because if someone like from the Sunni brothers, they say, I have a connection, I don't need Muhammad in my life, I don't need to say, oh please Allah bihaq Muhammad, give me something, because I am connected directly to Allah. No one is connected directly to Allah except Muhammad. Your connection is the wasila. طب هلا you will say, طب it's not fair. I will tell you something. هلا مثلا I'm speaking to you. Is my nafs speaking to you or my body? Who knows? Yeah, through what? Through my body. Can my nafs speak to you directly?
Yeah, through your body.
Through my body. So I'm using my body as what? As wasila.
So النفس ما لها
Yeah, nafs is ordering my body to speak. When you speak to Allah Azza wa Jal, you need a wasila to speak to Him. Right? There's nothing connected directly, even between you and your body. It's not connected. Your nafs has to order your brain has to order over here to start speaking. We do it very fast, but we never really focus on it.
So is the Prophet, was teaching Jibreel to...
Yes, he was teaching Jibreel to read the Quran. And in reality, their names, Jibreel, for information. مثلا, what does it mean, Jibreel? Mean Abdullah. Jibreel, the servant of Allah. How did we know it? In the old language, Il, in the Hebrew, old Hebrew, or the previous language, Il mean Allah. Jubra mean Abdullah. So when at the beginning of the creation, at the very beginning when the angels were created, actually they went to a big light was on a sama, was standing there like a big light, and they came to him, that light, and they said, please teach us why we were created and who we are exactly, and please give us name and give us tasbih. And it was the nur of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sallallahu alaihi Muhammad. So even with the Prophet Moussa alayhi salam, Moses, in the Quran saying he was speaking to Allah, but if you read exactly, the ayah said what? وَاسْفَاسْتَمَعْ إِلَى مَا يُوحَى. Yani listen to the wahi. I'm sorry?
Listen to what is revealed.
Yeah, listen to the revelation. استمع لما يوحى إني أنا الله. So Allah Azza wa Jal, He was talking through a revelation, and through this revelation He said, إني أنا الله, I am God. He was not speaking to him directly. Allah Azza wa Jal does not have voice like us. He's not limited to voice, He's not limited to eyes, He's not limited to energy, He's not limited to hair, He's not limited to anything you can imagine. So if you want to speak to any one of us, He will speak through different creatures. But many times we say, please Allah, give me so and so, and you see someone bringing you this, so this is mean this guy is Allah. No, Allah Azza wa Jal is using him. We are what? We are His servants, and His servants always the hands of Allah to each other. Okay, so we go back to the main subject. So if we open Surah Al-Rahman, it has many important, very important ayat in it, and inside that surah specifically, Allah Azza wa Jal is speaking about the universe, about Cern. And one of the something is happening very important now. I would like to say it since I'm talking about the devil and the ways of devil. There's something very weird happening to all the communities. Let's say when we it's like a little sensitive issue. I really want to raise it so we can be aware of it. It's happening to us now too. There's many people now are they start to come in from nowhere. Let's say same thing like me. Many people they don't know who I am. So I will excuse, for example, many people say, how we can trust you? I will always say, please do not trust me. In which form? If I say something, please go yourself, sit down, write whatever I say and check it. I make mistakes too. Yeah, but at the same time, I don't want to take the Islamic voice. What do I mean by that? Taking the Islamic voice happened before. 100 years ago, Sunnis, they did not have any marja. Marja mean like they did not have anyone having the political authorities or the Islamic authorities, religious authorities. So what happened exactly? They got someone called Mohamed bin Abdul Wahhab, and he was like a mufti, but everyone hated him. And with the British intelligence, they start giving him too much money, feeding him with money, and they brought someone from Al Saud. They give him power, and they said, you know what? We will give you all this land. You will embrace this religion, this faith of religion that go to Ibn Taymiyyah, and that I'm speaking history now. History now is repeating itself with our Shia. It's very important to understand all these concerns. And From this, we will make our own country, religion, and this will affect Muslims later. After 100 years, it really harmed Islam so bad. Why? Because it was fed from the devil. Saudi Arabia is fed from the devil. But what's happening to us now? If you open all the TVs, all the time they're attacking our maraja, our ulama, all the time. The known maraja, the known ulama. I'm not speaking about regular people, not known people. They always keep convincing us, saying, oh, listening to marja is bad. Why you want to follow someone? Just follow you don't know about religion? Religion is easy. Why we need to have a marja? So after this destruction of maraja, few people came in now on air always, and they have their own TV in the Middle East. They always keep bringing the magic, the black magic outside. I will give name because this is not ghiba anymore. This is protecting Islam. And I'm responsible for this name. I put 5 years of my life researching about those people. For example, one of them is Abu Ali Shibani. Abu Ali Shibani, that guy, he keeps saying that he is connecting with Imam al-Mahdi. Through who? Through the 313. When he said that exactly, it was one of my obligation to always keep fighting this idea. Why? Because we have many narrations said anyone claimed that before the Sahih, he is liar. Why? Because he said basically he will play a big role during the Imam's existence. You know what? If you want to play a big role during the Imam's existence, you don't shed light on it now. What you're doing is destruction of Shia. At the same time, he's taking the voice of Shia. What do I mean? For example, when they do interview, they ask him, what do you think about Russia and Syria? And he will start giving his opinion. The other side, they will say, oh, this is the Shia opinion. Okay. When they start separating those people, they are raising people within the United States and British in the same feed. What do I mean by that? For example, be careful so much from the people who come to you in a form of consultant. He is a consultant of so and so of university, and this university is given few $1,000s for you to do majalis ashura. It's happening now. Look at the masajid or someone. If someone comes from I don't know where and he say I am the consult of Shia's affairs, political affair and so on, and he is paying money to rent a hall and making so much advertisement for a few nights, right? It's happening to us now for a few nights, and he starts speaking about Sayyidah Zahra. What he speaks is right, by the way. Why? Because now those people are going to put their feet inside the community, and then later they will start destroying with it. They'll start playing with this one. Why? Because they want to take the voice of Shia outside the Middle East. So someone in Britain, same thing. Suddenly he came in. He started publishing all his things. He's very good speaker. I don't want to mention his name because so far we couldn't catch anything. It's haram to say anything, but just be careful. I'm just giving you an example. Suddenly he is the chairman of a big university about Shia.
It's very important to spread the information for the people. One of the people, I have no idea. There's people here to destroy our community.
Yes, not just community. They're taking the Shia voice in all whole worldwide. Yani, why? Because it will have a big effect in the future.
We have to know.
Yes, I am telling you, any person who didn't come from well-known family, he has a very good reputation, and let's say he didn't study and suddenly he came up, he just pop up with too much power, too much money. Suddenly he has so much. You open the dish, for example, and then you see him giving lectures, and they have a lot of money, to spend on a community in a form of consultant. Someone is talking to him to start defending the Shia. No one gave him the authority to defend the Shia. The Shia does not need anyone to defend it, by the way. This is what I mean in this form. And will be including myself at the beginning. If I come to you and I say something political or religious without any proof, do not take it. This is one of the fitan. It's happening to us now. And I'm including myself in it, yani, to be fair with everyone. So, I'll continue talking about this guy in Britain. So suddenly he is the voice of the Shia over there. Everyone love him so much, and they ask him about religion. First of all, he's not a marja' to ask him. For example, now you wanna ask me about something in ilm al-tashri'. Let's say, my wudu, is it good like that? Or I'm not marja' to answer you. But those people are answering. They're like maraja, they're destroying the idea of marja'iyah. And suddenly he was nobody, and then suddenly now he loves so much Sayyid Ali Khamenei, this guy. I don't want to mention his name, but I'm just saying be careful. Why? Because while he so much committing to loving Imam Sayyid Ali Khamenei, suddenly he speaks so bad about the Palestinian. Out of nowhere, he starts speaking bad about. And then when someone come to our community, this has happened a few months ago over here, one of the Islamic centers. Someone came in and he has a tattoo in his hand, like all tattoos, and then the way he wore things, he opened, to this button and then showing, and at the same time he's talking about religion. Something's wrong. Why we are accepting this form of people? Why? Because we are very kind people. We are very kind-hearted people. And why? Because when someone come to us to say, Imam Hussein, and then start crying, we feel so bad. This guy is mu'min, he's crying about Imam Hussein. And then speaking about Sayyidah Zahra, and mashallah, he wear different rings and so on. Each one is bigger than the other.
He lectures in the mosques in Jerbu.
Yeah. They are spreading very bad everywhere. Those people,
the of the mosque accepted them?
Yeah, because they're obviously, I told you, we are very kind people. Let's say, masalan, I have a degree in law. Let's say I got it from Harvard, and then I'm speaking about Islam. All the Islamic center, they will call me. Why? Because I'm able to speak to the young generation, but at the same time did not question why I'm doing that. Is someone really doing it for Allah, or he doing it for a special interest? Why? Because what's happening now is the Shia voice is dividing. Masalan, a guy, and we know him, I'm not afraid of mentioning his name, Masalan, Sheikh Yasser al-Habib. He is destroying Shia from the very inside.
Where is his boss?
No, in Britain. Yeah, but man, there's many followers.
You indirectly or directly inform the imams about that?
Yeah, the problem is, it's hard to connect directly with the Maraj. This is our problem. We have a problem from their side. Why? Because there's so much in them and going on around them.
This type of people, they are taking the Shia to a different dimension now.
Yeah, that's why it's our duty to start speaking about this. Just one, I'm sorry. That's our duty to start speaking, to raise awareness. Raising awareness, saying, do not listen to anybody. Nobody is representing the political view of Shia except the people who really deserve that. We have specific people in Lebanon, we have specific people in Iraq, we have specific people in Iran. That's it. Those people are well known. They did their own jihad, the homework. They've been, Allah Azza wa Jal, He put them under a lot of tests, and they win those tests. And we know who they are exactly.
Brother, if you don't want to mention the person name, can you mention the mosque or the...
No, I just told you his name over there, Yasser al-Habib, this guy.
Oh, that is in England, right?
Yeah, in England. And this guy speaks Arabic. Okay. This is one of the voices. Over here, I always want you to look after those people. You guys, you can see who they are. They don't own a markaz. They always go from markaz to markaz. Masalan, when someone... They come from overseas, mainly from Britain. Why always Britain is the main they generate always those people. Always ask. Do not be impressed by the way they speak. MashaAllah, when they go to the podium, they're very well speakers. They speak in a British form, and we really adore this accent. Many people here, they think it's so cute when they speak. So I always listen.
Sorry to cut you off. What are the things we're supposed to look on to find out that?
Yeah, well, the first thing, what is the definition of this person? Those people always come in a form of consultant. I told you. Okay, consultant for who and to who? They're always saying we are representing you outside, but really you don't want them to represent you outside. For example, it happened a few times in Islamic centers over here. Those people will come to the Islamic centers. They will say, we will pay money. Who pay money? Let's say Harvard will finance 3 nights over here. It will cost $10,000 for Sayyidah Zahra. طب why Harvard gonna pay $10,000 for Sayyidah Zahra? You see, it happened few last time over. Yani many centers happening. So those people, they come here, they take over. Masalan, they say to the Islamic center, we have our own guy. We're gonna bring him from Iraq, Bahrain. They're very good with anashid, and they bring him here. They're very famous. Those people are good people. I'm not saying bad about them. This is their work. But I'm speaking about the person who is doing the mainly organizing this event. Why he's organizing this event, and why UFM or Wayne State financing this? What's the interest of UFM financing 3 nights or 4 nights for Sayyidah Zahra? What's the interest of those universities? We have to ask about that. We have to be really open. We have to open our eyes. We cannot just pass by. Because those people are now consultant. Later they're gonna open centers here to teach our kids the Arabic, the Quran. Later they're gonna be very well known, and then after that, when they sit down, they have their own, their own journals, their own media, and someone from the CNN, he will ask him, what do you think about the Shia in United States going to do? And he will say something. We will listen to it. We'll say, yeah, we are entitled to that. He's one of us. So please be careful about this. No one represents you except the ulama, not a person like me. I'm not from the Hausa. I'm sorry. No, I'm saying the ulama, the well-known ulama with a good reputation. I mentioned it at the very beginning. I cannot just keep repeating. Yeah. So this is one of the form of the devilish things is going around us. We need to really be careful about that. Plus, we start spreading the saying Masonics are powerful. They're not controlling anything. Allah Azza wa Jal is controlling everything. يَمْكُرُونَ وَيَمْكُرُ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. There are some people who yamkurun, who are the devil, who follow the devil. Many people, they're against Muslim, Islam, against faith, against so on. All those people against Islam. Why are we gonna put all the credit to those people? Actually, those Masonic people, most of their symbols are Shia symbols. I showed that many times. And they steal this knowledge from Ahlul Bayt, from the old temples that the Prophet used to teach. I gave many examples before that, but this is not the main subject now. So please be careful about anything and everything now. This age is the Asr al-Fitan, and be careful about that. Yeah, you have a question?
Why are people targeting Islam?
Why?
From all the religions.
Well, because if you, that's a good question, by the way. There's a guy, he's a Russian guy. He wrote many books before. He lived in 1945 at that time. He said, he wrote a few important books. I will remember. I hope I can remember his name. I'm bad with names. He said, after 100 years from this moment, in 1945, Islam will be all over the universe because it's the only religion that makes sense. This guy, by the way, he was faithful Christian. But the problem with the philosophy of Christianity, it was destroyed. At the very beginning of Christianity was Jesus was a prophet at the very beginning. And then 50 years later or 75 years later, they start saying he is the son of the God. And then 1,000 years later, he said he is not the son of God, he is God himself. Why? Because they want to make people believe it. Because son of God doesn't make sense anymore. After 1,000 years, they said he is God himself. Why? Because he was raised from the dead. And no one can raise himself from the dead except God. And this is not true. God does not die at all. Why? Does not have a sense of time, aslan. And then now they're saying he is God and every one of you part of him. Why? Because they want to keep people Christian. They're making you God too. Yani they're even giving you more. It is reminding you by switching from T-Mobile to Verizon. If you come to us, we'll give you you are God. It's like marketing idea. It's no more religion. But Islam, if you see it, after all what's happening to it, after all this rubbish, happening, for example, ISIS. Well, ISIS was made by the intelligence. And everyone knows that. And he was fed by the Saudi government, and everybody knows that. It's not Islam, it's not representing Islam. We're not embarrassed saying that. And we're not defending ourselves. And some people, they always sit down defending, but really we're not defending ourselves. As Shia, we're very proud of it. But if we continue listening to someone called Yasser al-Habib, we will become like Wahhabis one day. Why? Because this guy, he wanna fight everyone Sunni. And Sunnis, really, not all of them are bad. Maybe 1% of them are bad, 1% only, and all they don't really know the truth. If they sit down and they know the truth, they will change their mind. No one really saying those. No, even Shia, for example, now you go to Lebanon, I guarantee you, some people here, they're 10 years old, they know better than a sheikh in Lebanon. Some of them, believe me, some of my sheikh now in Lebanon, they're very embarrassing. They don't really know who Ahlul Bayt are. I'm focusing on this country because I'm from this country. I cannot say about the other country because they will say you're speaking about bad about Iraqis or Iranians. But this one is going everywhere. You see? So we need to always be careful from those people. Any questions before we conclude? بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. Our only hope inshallah يعني the عودة الإمام المهدي سلام الله عليه. Let's make a dua and then we conclude. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. اللهم كل وليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. صلى على محمد.